Hi, everyone. My name is Deven Soni, the CEO of Matador Gold Technologies. Today, I wanted to spend a bit of time talking about our business, some of the updates that we're launching in the near future, and leave some time for Q&A from our viewers. First, I'd like to introduce my co-founder, Trevor Kaverko, to give a few thoughts about the reason we started Matador and why we're so excited about this time in the world for people to access gold in easy and straightforward ways. So I'll hand it over to Trevor.
All right. Well, thanks, everyone. Thanks, Devin. I'm Trevor. I'm a tech founder, and previous companies I've been involved with, coincidentally with Devin as well, are Polymath and tokens.com. And for those who know me, they know there's nothing I like more than disrupting a big, juicy market. And there's pretty much no bigger market than gold. Gold is huge. It's one of the biggest markets out there. It's 12 trillion. The last time I checked, it's probably even higher now. And it's liquid. It trades, hundreds of billions, I think 120 billion a day. So it's a big market. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we're kind of accidentally getting into all-time record high territory for gold in pretty much every currency. So that's the good news. Gold's awesome. It's huge. But here's the bad news. It's still shockingly hard to buy gold in 2023 for some crazy reason. I have no idea why, but whether you want to buy physical or like these opaque ETFs, it's just a bit of a nightmare for young people to be interested in buying gold. And even when you do figure out how to buy gold, it's still kind of boring because there's nothing interesting you can do except maybe like put it in a safe and look at it. And that kind of brings me to my thesis here, is that the reason the gold market hasn't really budged, this price has been the same for the last decade. It's not because of some like crazy conspiracy theory of the gold price being suppressed or something. I think it's much more simple. I think that the gold market has just become boring for young people. And as a millennial, which I will brag, we are the biggest investment cohort on planet Earth right now. We've just passed on gold for the last decade. Like we've completely, we're good. We've passed on it. And I was talking to my dad the other day, and he used to, like, when he was my age, that was the cool thing to do. He was like buying gold stocks, but it's just completely got out of favor. And the reality is I like crypto. I like stocks. I like stuff that's more modern and user-friendly. And if you think about it, stocks have Robinhood. That's, in my opinion, what enabled this crazy stock bull market, is millennials using Robinhood, which was an on-ramp for young people to easily buy stocks and have it gamified and have it fun. And that's just stocks. What about crypto? Crypto has Coinbase. Coinbase is a beautiful, modern user experience to buy and trade crypto. But what does gold have? That's the question I'm going to leave you with, other than some sketchy, gold dealers and weird websites to buy it. So I think it's time to disrupt this market. And back to you, Devin.
Thanks, Trevor. Exactly as Trevor said, I mean, when we were thinking about this business, we saw 2019, 2020, you had pandemics and wars and inflation and fears about the economy. And you look back hundreds, if not thousands of years in history, and you say, this is the absolute perfect time to be buying gold, to be thinking about gold, to be diversifying into gold. And we didn't see that. What we saw was people buying meme stocks and NFTs. And our thesis, as part of the reason, is because the distribution for those had modernized so much. You can pick up your iPhone and buy Bitcoin just as quickly as you can order an Uber. And for us, we wanted to build a product that lets you do the same thing on the gold and precious metal side. And that's really why we built and launched Matador. We've got a really, really ambitious vision with this company and with the technology. But sometimes, as I think many of you will realize, that the only way to make a company that will last and has the sustainability to weather up and down cycles is to do things the right way, which is the hard way, with compliance in mind, with regulations in mind. And because of that, our business has been overly focused on the regulatory aspect and accordingly has really incrementally been building our business to focus on regulations, to focus on doing things in a way that are fun and easy for consumers, but still safe and secure. I don't think anyone on this webinar has missed some of the news that's happened in the economy, especially in kind of the blockchain digital economy over the last year. You've had implosions of companies like Celsius and FTX that were trusted with consumer funds, and that really set back investing for a lot of these young people for many years. We're taking the opposite approach, which is doing something that's not fast and easy and making promises that aren't realistic, but instead doing things in a way where we hope people can trust their capital with us when they buy gold and precious metals, but also hand that down to their kids in a way where we've got a sustainable platform that evolves with the market, but is stable and safe from day one. So with that, our launch product, which I'll share in a few minutes, is basically, I think a really easy way to put it would be a Robinhood for gold. It's a platform that you can use to buy and sell physical gold, store it at the Royal Mint in Canada, do that in a way just as quickly as you order an Uber or order food from Uber Eats or Instacart. You download an app on the App Store. 20 seconds later, you're able to make a gold purchase. There's no paperwork to fill out. There's no going to a a bank or a pawn shop with a duffel bag of cash and figuring out what to do with your gold. It's really just a really simple, streamlined way that's fully secure, fully regulated, and something that we're really excited about. That's not where we're stopping, though. We have a deep vision to take that core model and expand it to other precious metals, expand it to new ways to buy and sell gold and other metals, and actually evolve the B2B experience as well. Because as we've started diving into this market, we've realized that just as hard it is for consumers to buy gold, there's some kind of backwards things about the B2B industry. So we also seem to plan to integrate and push there as well. And I think one of the things that has really kept a lot of innovative companies away from the gold market and away from the precious metals market is that it can be seen as a really thin margin business. And one of the things that we've learned is that a lot of these companies historically have to be at odds with customers in order to make money. You see gold at $2,050 an ounce on Google today, and walk into any bank or walk into any gold dealer, try to buy an ounce of gold, and you're going to be paying $2,300 or $2,400 with all these fees tacked on that don't actually add any value to you. They just kind of add some margin for what's a really tough business. What we've really tried to do is take away all this nickel and diming and instead focus on allowing users to only pay when we actually create real value for them. So instead of saying, hey, we're going to charge you a storage fee and a processing fee and these things, we cut all those things, have a really minimum fee over spot, and instead create an income stream by offering new features. One of the key features we're offering at launch is an installment program or a buy now, pay later program. Over the last several years, I think this is a habit that a lot of people have gotten into, which makes a lot of sense, right? If you want to just lock in the price of something today, you see a sale for a refrigerator, a television, or something like that, you're like, okay, well, I can just pay for it over 12 or 15 months, and that makes it a lot easier for me to lock in a price today. And we're doing the same thing with gold, which is to say, if you think that we're entering into this super cycle of precious metals investing, like all of us at Matador do, and that a lot of price predictions for gold are $2,500 or $3,000, and if you think that, now's a great time to be buying. So instead of saying, hey, I'm going to go buy $100 of gold today at $2,050, and then go buy $100 of gold next month at maybe $2,400, what we enable people to do is to say, let's lock in the price today, pay a fixed monthly payment, and our revenue model then becomes more of a high margin technology fintech business than it does a gold dealer business that has to kind of nickel and dime and charge fees that don't really add value. And again, that enables us to provide a lot more value to consumers, let them buy more gold, let them really treat it as a store of value in a way that doesn't get them kind of behind that 8 ball the minute they buy, where if they try to sell, they've lost a few $100. Like we're really trying to avoid that as much as possible and streamline the overall ecosystem. Next evolution of our product is something that's been in development for a few years now. And as Trevor mentioned, one of the things that has really been a challenge for the gold industry to date has been the lack of innovation. Buying gold today is really similar to where my parents bought gold, or probably even one of my grandparents bought gold, right? You take some cash somewhere, you pick up some gold bars and put them in your house. And what we want to do is take some of the fun and innovation in history that gold has had for the last hundreds of years, which include these limited edition coins that are the ways that people have differentiated in the past. So you have these commemorative coins for, the moon landing, or, the year of the rabbit in the Asian culture, or, Queen Elizabeth's passing. These are things that have generally commemorated, individual gold run coins. And some of these things, trade for a lot more than their core gold value. And even if they don't and they become out of favor, you can still liquidate them for the gold price. So it's one of these things that has been a tried and true hallmark of the gold industry for many years. We're merging this sort of historical landmark with modern era technology that a lot of younger people, millennials and even younger, resonate with in the form of NFTs. We're taking every gram of gold we sell, it's breaking it up into a kilogram. So a kilogram is 1,000 grams of gold. We take each of those grams and create a AI generated NFT coin that's verifiably unique. No one will have the exact same one, and we can verify that. And we'll take these things and let people ideally take them off platform and trade them on places like OpenSea in the same way they trade Bored Apes or CryptoPunks or other NFTs. And these are all limited edition. And if you get a special coin, or you think yours is valuable because it has, 3 ears, or, a funny hat or something, right? Like basically you can take those and trade them for whatever you think they're worth. But the backstop that we provide is that we will actually buy that coin from you, or that NFT from you. Or secondly, what we'll do is enable you to burn that coin, which means destroy the NFT and get the NFT printed on a physical gold coin that you can take delivery of. And what that really means is that when people redeem or take these gold NFTs and turn them into coins, you're reducing the supply. So over the years, the rabbit coin, or the Matador coin, or the Queen Elizabeth coin, like digital coin, may have a lower supply and may become more valuable if you choose to keep it. And again, what we're really doing is adding a layer of gamification, fun, modernization to a technology that really hasn't changed very much in hundreds of years, to bring it not even just up to date of where the blockchain is, but I think we're actually kind of pushing the envelope and evolving past where many of the most popular projects have done in kind of the blockchain crypto world. There's a term called phygital, which is becoming very popular with companies like Nike, where you can buy a pair of digital sneakers or an NFT of sneakers, use them in games like Fortnite, and then actually get those same sneakers delivered and printed to you. We're doing the same thing with kind of these gold physical coins, and really we aim to continue to innovate in this way as much as possible. Now I'd like to share a demo of the current launch app.
This is a quick walkthrough of the Matador mobile application.
This launch app does not include
this is the first screen that
NFT features, the blockchain features. Those are coming in our next release.
Gold holdings,
but this gives you a real picture for how quick and seamless
and they have the ability to buy more gold.
So with that, we can start the demo.
As low as a gram. When you're buying gold, you just choose the amount you want. You look at the price. This price is based on a proprietary in-house price feed that we have, leveraging 3 different gold price sources to ensure accuracy. So you decide how much gold you want, press buy. Then you can decide if you want to pay up front, which means your payment method is billed for the full amount immediately, or you can lock in the price and pay over installments in 2, 6, or 12 month installments. In installment payments, you pay 30% upfront and the remainder over the installment period chosen. An installment fee that we can set dynamically is baked into that price. Then you click buy now. You see the details of the payment. You select your payment method and click buy. In just a few seconds, you've purchased some gold. Once you own gold, you can then look at the current personal vault. You can see your current gold holdings. You can see the amount of funds you have in your Matador wallet, and you can withdraw those funds. A few other things to note here are you can actually see the details of all your open installment agreements right here. You can see how much you've paid down on the contract, which is $127. You can see how much you need to pay to close the contract and fully own that gold. And you can actually pay off that contract immediately. Users can only sell gold if they've already paid off their full contract. So to sell gold, you go to the ship or sell gold button, decide how much gold you want to sell. Since I don't have any gold, actually I sell any, so I'm going to go back, buy a gram of gold, pay up front, buy now. So I bought a gram. So I can now go back to the app, to the personal vault, the ship sell gold button. And here, since I just bought and fully paid for a gram of gold, I can sell that gold just as quickly as I bought. Other key features to note on the app include the ability to add various payment methods, which include cards and bank accounts. Additionally, there's a loyalty program. Mata loyalty points are earned when you take various actions, like downloading the app, entering your bank and personal information, making an installment purchase, and sharing your purchases on social media. With the next iteration of our app, these Mata points will actually be redeemable for real physical gold on our marketplace. The goal with the app is to make any interaction seamless and to be transactable within a few seconds. So users can download the app, add their payment information, and make a purchase within 30 seconds, which we feel is the best milestone in the industry. Thank you so much for taking the time to quickly review this version of the mobile app. It's in live beta, and we've submitted to the App Store on Apple. And once we're approved, we'll be able to actually let users download and use the app and make their own purchases. Thank you.
Hi. Thanks, everyone. So as you can see, with the app, our goal is really to make every interaction fast, seamless, and native. I'm pretty sure my 7-year-old could use it with his eyes shut in the same way he uses, kind of WhatsApp or something. So the next stage of our development roadmap, as I discussed, is adding the NFT and blockchain functionality we discussed, adding new forms and types of gold, so that if users want to buy gold that's mined in Canada or mined in North America, or gold that has ESG qualities, they can do that directly on our app. We also want to open in new countries. We're launching soon in Canada, but the goal is to launch through the rest of North America, Western Europe, and other key markets. And lastly, we plan to add new payment options like Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and also explore new ways for users to do things like trade gold peer-to-peer. So these are all things that we are working on from both the product side, the regulatory side, and the market side, but we are all really excited to continue to push the envelope in what we can do with gold and other precious metals. One of the things that we're most excited about as a company is the amazing groups of people and companies that have decided to partner with us. Our partners and strategic investors include Kitco, one of the largest publishers in the gold space, Osisko, one of the largest gold mining companies in Canada, as well as Hive Blockchain, one of the first companies that went public in the blockchain space and has been a key innovator. All these groups have been essential in helping us develop our product and reach our core market. And we continue to want to work with them and add new partners as well. From those partners, I think we've built what is the best team in the gold industry. You can see our team here, and the funny thing you see is that there's probably more lawyers and compliance folks than anything else, and I think this is very intentional. I would be surprised if we didn't have more sort of legal and regulatory oversight than some of the large companies in this space. And the reason for that, again, is we want to do things in a way where we ensure that customer funds, customer assets are secure, that we're in compliance with regulators, that we're not getting fined or dinged like a lot of the companies have in this space. We want to do things in a highly sustainable way. I think a really good parallel is watching a company like Coinbase, or which has been around for 11 plus years at this point, and had almost a pretty pristine, immaculate reputation. We want to be in that same conversation. Additionally, we have Henry Chen, who's helped build some amazing apps on the marketing side, a wonderful product team. And I'll just touch on my background really briefly because I've been doing most of the talking. But I started my career in investment banking, worked for companies like Lazard and Goldman Sachs, eventually moved over to the digital asset side and helped start a company called Polymath, which tokenized digital assets with Trevor, my co-founder. Additionally, I was one of the co-founders and founding CEO of Token.com, which is a publicly traded company in the blockchain space. So really just deep experience in digital assets, growing into innovative markets. And I'm really excited to be leading Matador into what we think is a really exciting time and the super cycle for precious metals, gold investing, and bringing this to retail consumers. Our board includes Nato Sfera, who's been just a fixture in the capital markets in Canada. I'll take several companies in the gold space public. Anthony Blanchard, former chief strategy officer for Gold Money. Dave Forstall, just former senior exec at Barrick Gold. Derek Sidami, Fans Unite. We just built a core team that has such good function, such good experience on the gold side, the technology side, the marketing side, that we think we are really, really poised to build this business for the long term. And with that, I will pause the actual presentation part and shift over to Q&A. And I'd like to take some questions that users have. So I'll just be jumping into the chat. So if you do have questions, please put them into the chat and I will take them here. I'm just reading some of the chat conversations now. Hi, Sean, Matthew, Gary. Really excited to have you guys all on the webinar. The first comment I'm just seeing is the NFT innovation, and it's something that we've been working on for a long time. I will not be exaggerating if I say we've been thinking about this and working on this for years at this point, and it's taken that long to get the regulatory side and the product side done. But we feel really, really good about that. I'm looking at Michael's question here about Apple's 30% commissions on transactions. So it's a great question. Because of the way we process payments and are selling sort of these precious metals, we aren't a part of Apple's 30% commission, which are really more tied to digital products like subscriptions and software and games. So it's certainly an area that we've thought about a lot. And we're doing everything we can from a regulatory and application side to ensure that we aren't paying those types of fees to just to enable these products for customers. Madison, seeing why wouldn't a company like Robinhood copy our model? That's a fantastic question. I think you really have to think about what Matador's business is, right? Robinhood's business. Robinhood's business is to enable users choice in what they buy. They want to be able to buy Robinhood stock and crypto. And it would be the same thing as saying, why wouldn't Robinhood create their own kind of cryptocurrency? Because then it would sort of eat into their entire model of facilitating users trading Bitcoin and Ethereum and the hundreds of other blockchains and cryptos that they do. They make more money when they sell ETFs because of the nature of our business. So we certainly could see ourselves, partnering with a company like Robinhood, but we don't think that they would get into the direct physical metal space because it would sort of capitalize and cannibalize a lot of the other business models they have today. Matthew, thank you. So the question is, what is your international expansion strategy? That's a great question. We want people in every country in the world to be able to use Matador, but the goal is really to do so in a thoughtful way. And for us, we're really looking at two areas when we think about how to launch in new markets, and that includes the size and demand for that market. So obviously, markets like the U.S. are bigger than markets like maybe Costa Rica or something. So that's certainly a priority area. But the other area is really that we want to focus on markets that have a clear regulatory path for us to enter and have ways that are really useful. So I think I've spent a bunch of time in markets like Argentina and Lebanon, which have had real tough currency situations. So being able to offer a store of value product to them in a seamless way, assuming we can do so in a regulatory way, makes a ton of sense. And that's what our other focus is really to open up in markets that really need our product. Matthew, why is Matador going public? That's a great question. We're a startup and we're a small company, but I think what's really important in the world for companies like ours is to have a true level of transparency in everything we do. And one of the best ways to be a transparent business is to be a publicly traded business where your financials are audited. Your every statement you make is something that has to be factual and is reviewed by regulators. So I think for us, going public helps us be more transparent with our business, and at the same time helps us attract new shareholders and customers in a way that private companies just can't. Nick, you mentioned Apple. Does the app work on Android devices? So we're launching it with Apple first, and we're in the App Store approval process right now with Apple. Once we have the app approved, the next stage is to move on to Android. The Android app is already built and it's in QA testing, so it should be a really quick follow, but it will be a little later than the Apple app. So I'm seeing a pause in the question, so I'm going to pause there on the Q&A side and take a minute to hand the mic over to a special guest, Kia Besharat, who is with Gravitas Securities and is one of the folks who's been instrumental in helping guide us in taking Matador public. And he'll be sharing some thoughts about that process.
Friday, April 21st at market close. And again, as a reminder for everybody, the issue price is at 50 cents per subscription receipt. And that gets you a unit which shall be comprised of one common share and 1/2 of one common share purchase warrant at 75 cents for 3 years. So just wanted to thank the company.
Thank you, Kia. So with that, really excited for everyone to join, hear the Matador story, hear what we've built, hear what we're building, and where we're planning on going. And thank you so much for the fantastic Q&A as well. So with that, I'll wind down the webinar presentation, and please do reach out, visit our website, follow us on social media if you want to learn more and follow the Matador story. Thank you.